So this technique we're about to learn doesn't have anything to do with your personal good luck or bad luck, which is something you should check up on if you're going to spend a lot of money. No, we're just going to talk about a certain way to time the best time of day. We call it the aha time. It happens once a day, and the reason it's best applied to these old slot machines here is because you can get a lot of bets in on a slot machine in a very short time. And this, what we call the aha time, it only lasts for like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Now I like the Wheel of Fortune, but still, for 3 or 4 minutes, if you're pumping like $1 in there every 30 seconds, you can spend a lot of money. So you got to be on a budget, and the reason you play the slots is because you can get a lot of bets in a short time. If you go and play craps or some other casino game, you'd be lucky if you get 1 or 2 in, see? So, yes, understand? So that's why we do the slots, is because you get a lot of bets in a short time period. The other reason is that, especially with these progressive machines, the odds might be low, but you can get into the big money here. It's not like craps where you double your money, or blackjack where you double your money. If you want to make some big bucks, you need to have a place where you got those high-end odds. And I like Wheel of Fortune just because it's so much fun. It really is. And half the time when you get a spin, and you get to spin this guy right there, oh, it's all exciting. But most of the time, you only get the $25 or the $50, or there it goes, bling. Everybody stops and watches. So how many spins you get's a big deal. There, they won $250. Wow. Okay, you get the idea. Now, tricks of the trade. What you want is to find the time of day when you're sitting at that machine and suddenly you have a win, and your whole spirit goes, aha, I won. That's why we call it the aha time. So that's the way I went at it. And as an astrologer, I can take the chart and spin it like that and find out when Jupiter comes over here and makes a sextile to the rising sign, and everybody gets this aha feeling. That's the key to this technique. Aha! Aha, they say, this is so simple. Yes, it is. Okay, how do you find that time? Well, if you're lucky enough to have an Apple product, like my iPhone here, you got the app, the $10 app. Go to my website, skymareastrology.com/TV, and you'll get the chart of now, at your fingertip. Bang, there it is. See, and there's the chart, and this is accurate even in elevation. And while you're there, you can watch this, and by golly, this makes it kind of easy. So I think these are $10 now for an Apple. If you've got an Android, and they can't write the code for that. It's so what happens is I've got a cheap app for you. This is called Aquarius to Go, and it doesn't cost anything. Can I get a picture of that, please? Yeah, there it is, Aquarius 2GO. It's at your app store, and it's not nearly the high quality as the one for Apple, but gets the job done, and you can watch and see. Now, for instance, if you look at this now, right now, Jupiter is in the section you're most interested in. You're most interested in the second house of money, which is this middle quadrant here. See the little 2? And any place around that. So what you really want, see where the moon is there now? Well, if you had Jupiter down there, it would make a sextile to the rising sign, and there would be this aha. Yes, this good aha feeling from Jupiter. It's really cool when it happens. Okay, here's my solar fire program. Now, I just did this for a client whose husband was going off in June to Vegas for a few days. So I set the chart up for Las Vegas and the time, and I just put in an arbitrary time and looked to see where the planets were. And I found out that in the morning, Jupiter is down in this area. Yeah, so now I want to find out exactly what the aha time is. And you'll notice that the rising sign here is in Leo right now. Or right then, excuse me. And Jupiter here is at 14 Libra, 13 Libra 14. Now, when this rising sign gets back to 13 Libra 14, we will have the sextile exact. And if you have the Apple product, you'll even have the elevation. So let's just run that back a little bit to 1314. There it is. That's the way it looks. So here's the exact 60-degree angle, and this is when you're going to go, aha! Aha! Now you'd like to be sitting there looking at a big jackpot when that aha happens. The thing is, it goes by kind of quick. And the thing is, now this is 9:55 a.m., so you're not going to have people sitting in your gambling chair mainly. But if you did, you'd send somebody ahead to occupy the chair you want. 3 charts have to be made when you leave the house, when you go in the casino, when you sit down and start gambling. Well, if you leave your hotel room and you got a hotel room next to the slot machine thing or in the first floor up, just tell them you're claustrophobic, can't get in an elevator. Get near the stairs, so you go run down the stairs and you're at the Wheel of Fortune machine. I used to set that up in one casino in Vegas. So what I was doing is leaving the house. I wanted that chart to be really close to going into the casino, sitting down and gambling. And so sometimes within 1 minute, I'd leave the hotel room, I'd march downstairs, sit down at the machine, get out all my card or my money, and bang, start playing. And I would usually set this up to start playing, a minute and a half before the aha time. Even 2 minutes before the aha time, if I had to. But 1 minute would be optimum. And sit down and just start pumping. I mean, with the new machines, you just hit the button. Every time you do, it spins for you. You don't pull a handle anymore. So you can hit that button a lot. I recommend it. What you do is you start a little slow. Say you're going to budget 4 minutes. So you got 4 minutes of hitting that button. If every time you do it, you spend 75 cents, yes. So you best start slow and ramp it up and peak out. Bang, bang, hit that button, bang, bang, bang when you hit the exact sextile, and then slow down a little bit as you kind of go out. The hard part, what you're going to find is that you will win. You may win small if your personal chart's not real good, but you'll win. And it's very addictive. So when you get to 2 minutes past the aha time, I can't quit. I got to go a little further. So a lot of us have spent money because we didn't stop. Nice thing about this is if you know where you're going to be, you can calculate this beforehand. Yeah, so you will know. I mean, I did this 3 months before June. The other thing is that this rising sign changes. It changes every day by 4 minutes of clock time. So if this is 9:55 here on this day, the next day after that, on June 6th, it'll be at 9:51 a.m. when the aha time hits. So, I got clients that'll just call me up and say, hey, I need the aha times for Vegas for these days, and I'll put it on the computer and run it off. So you can do it in advance, Yes, there will be some success. We don't know whether it'll be a big success or a little success. Now, I've also had good luck, like driving by an Indian casino, to drive up to the door 1 minute or 2 minutes before the aha time, rush in the door, sit down and gamble for a couple minutes and leave. I've done that with the big casinos too. Stand outside the door for 10, 15, 20 minutes. When the aha time comes, jump at it. I played these quarter machines a lot. And usually my average is someplace between $100, $200, $500 on the good times. I've had a few trips where Saturn was on my case. I went with somebody else, and gosh, the guy sat next to me, and his chart was looking fine. And we left at the same time for the same aha time. He won spin after spin after spin, and I sat there right next to him pumping money, and I didn't get one. Not one spin in 5-10 minutes. So there is an individual person in their chart as part of this thing. However, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Once we had an aha time at 4 in the morning. I had to run out of the hotel and the room and go down there. The place was deserted. So we were there for 3 days, and every day at 4 a.m., there we were, three of us, pumping money into these machines for about 5 minutes, and we get up and go and leave. On the last day, the head of security came down and said, "How you boys doing? You staying here, yeah? How come you got a little clock on the machine?" And turned out that that's when they run the cart around to collect money. And the cart man noticed that us three ruffians from Hawaii were there at the same time every night, just for a short duration. Anyway, this works pretty good, folks. Yeah, it works for other machines. The idea is to get a progressive machine, something you can afford to dump $30, $40 into in 3-4 minutes, and just go for it and see what happens. Now, here's a word of warning. If you walk into that place a minute or two late, that Jupiter sextile goes by and it just stops. So you cannot be late here. If anything, you want to be a little bit early. And if you're going to do this in, an Indian casino, you got to try hard to get the real longitude and latitude. Unless you're there with one of these Apple apps or something GPS, so the location's important. And this works everywhere. The aha time. And you don't know whether you're winning $100 or $1,000, but aha, I won. And it happens at almost the same time. Good fun, huh? Good luck to you, folks.